think of a theme with the songs? Was any of them similar with a different theme? Yeah, EJ.
I would say being happy.
Yes, being happy. Anyone else? Eric.
I was gonna say upbeat.
Yes, upbeat. And then, yeah,
Like,
Derek.
kind of like pushing through.
Pushing through, yes. So all of these songs have all of those in common. That is amazing that you guys got those all right. So our topic today is mental health. We're studying a whole new unit plan on mental health. All these songs kind of push forward so that you are kind of working towards getting a better mental health, okay? So as a precaution, mental health is a touchy subject to some people. If it gets too much, you're able to step outside for 5 minutes if need be. And I'm always available after class if something comes up and you want to talk to me about it. So first up, we're going to pair up. You can be in groups of 2, and you can be with anybody that you feel comfortable with, because this is mental health. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with the person you're talking to, especially on the first day. So I'm going to be passing out these sheets. Everyone's going to get a sheet of paper, but you are going to be working in pairs. So go ahead and pair up with someone you would like to work with. Make sure that you put your name at the top of the paper. And what this is it's a myth or fact sheet. So all of these are facts or myths that are common thoughts with mental health. And so what I want you to do is I want you to go through and circle whether it is a myth or circle whether it is a fact. I'm going to continue playing the music while you guys work so that you can keep listening to fun pop music.
Alright, so I can just read them too and we'll talk about them. We're just doing a good thing. So, having a mental illness can affect the way a person thinks, believes, and feels. Mental illness can affect anyone. Anger is considered a mental illness. You cannot cause someone to get a mental illness. Everyone has some type of mental illness. There's more than one type of schizophrenia. Just as a fact. Parents who raise children do not have any mental illness. 1 in 5 mental disorders. If it's still possible to get therapy during a pandemic. I cannot help others with mental illness or make them experience thoughts or cancer. Once a person has a mental health disorder, it is impossible for them to recover. Talk therapy is only one of the many options of therapy. You cannot tell if a person has a mental disorder just by looking at them. Self-diagnosis is a great way to understand your mental health. Therapists do not prescribe medication either. So psychiatrists.
So that's a fact.
Therapists can get medication. Talking to someone about suicidal thoughts will make them act on it. Someone about suicidal all mental illness result in a person feeling best way to help someone with depression is to cheer them up. Mental
You guys done up here?
So it's like basically saying,
Oh.
Are we talking about her? Not mine. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. Watch me.
I had an instant mental health conversation.
just because it's like,
How you doing, Phil? Feeling okay?
I bet you got 100%.
I think like now we can talk.
She's I like your sister.
oh,
Yeah, they can
thank you, really good. Mogo moves. Mogo moves.
I mean, you can still get tested, it's no
Yeah,
problem, but
so you know,
no, I can totally understand.
like a hotel. So like if you're a mogul, you're like, yeah, you're like top of the business. Top of the
never heard the word
well, if you are a mogul, you're like,
Oh, he's saying step up.
yeah. And if you make local moves, you're making like big moves, big break moves.
Oh, so it means
I like it. It's from a stream. It's like it's the only merch that I got. Because merch is usually just like logos and stuff. They made this, I'm like, oh, no, I wish you followed, but he's
Okay, does everybody have their sheet filled out?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody got it filled out? Okay, if you guys could go back to your seats, that'd be great.
I still got my swimming dive.
Bye.
I don't know what year jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the sheet?
I love it.
Okay, for you.
There you go.
You be driven.
Yeah, everyone will be like,
It's so cool.
So going into this myth versus fact sheet, how many people think that they got the majority of them right? Yeah? Everyone? Oh, okay. Well, we're about to see if you guys got them right. We're going to go through every single one. Please don't change the answers because I'm going to use them as kind of a pre-test to see how much you know before we start this unit. So if you want to mark it as X for wrong or check mark for right, you can do that, but please do not change your initial answers. Thank you. So for the very first one, it was a myth.
Woo!
Did anybody put fact? Anybody put fact? No. Good job. So, pre-read along, it says mental illness can occur only after a person has reached adulthood. That is, in fact, a myth. Anybody can get a mental illness. Doesn't matter if you are 5 years old or if you're 80 years old. You can get a mental illness no matter how old you are and what circumstances you are in. Number 2, fact. Everybody get a fact?
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, having a mental illness can affect the way a person thinks, behaves, and feels. So it's not just the way a person might seem to be acting. Like a person could act completely fine, but inside they're not feeling the greatest. Or on the other side, somebody could behave really sad, really down, and they actually do feel that way. So it can affect every single aspect of your life. Number 3, fact. Just like number 1, it doesn't just affect adults, it can affect any single person. Number 4, I know there was some controversy going on for number 4, but it's a myth. Anybody put fact for that one? Wow, everybody's doing really good. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so anger is considered mental illness. Wrong. Anger is not a mental illness. That is just an emotion. You can have anger without being mentally sad or mentally depressed, mentally anxious. You can be angry just because somebody cut you off in traffic or because you didn't do really well on a test. Like, you can be angry for anything, but it does not say that you have a mental illness. So number 5, myth. Did anybody put fact for that one?
I put both.
Okay.
Because technically, I think, so you can't catch a mental illness from someone else, but you could very much cause a mental illness
Mhm.
if based on abuse or different things like that. So I put both for this
Mhm.
one. Depends on what you meant by cause someone to get a mental illness.
Yeah, Eric?
So like, would that be more like PTSD?
Yes, that is exactly where I was going with this question, PTSD. For those who do not know, we are going to go over PTSD tomorrow, but PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. And so PTSD can come from anybody in poor relationships. That could be a big cause for PTSD in some people. Like if it's abusive, that person caused that person to have that mental illness, which is PTSD. It's sad to say that, but that's why we really need to focus on how we act around other people and how we portray ourselves around our community. We want to make sure that we're not possibly hurting other people's feelings or possibly affecting their emotional health. So number 6, myth. Did anybody put fact for this one? Yes.
So Eric and I didn't answer this one because we didn't know. Is it going to be considered a type of mental illness? Our thinking is that it depends on if it's medically diagnosed.
Okay.
So, like, if I say that I have anxiety, but it's not medically diagnosed, then is it like still a mental illness or something, or depression? Sorry.
Okay, well, so everybody can have symptoms of mental illnesses, but it does not mean that you automatically have a mental illness.
Okay.
So with all of the facts, especially on the CDC website, they said that 1 in 5 people will have a mental illness. So that doesn't mean everybody gets them. There are some people who go through life without ever being depressed or ever being anxious, other than anxious because I have to take a test. It's different. Having the symptoms and having the mental illness is completely different.
Okay.
So, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Number 7, fact. Did anybody put false? No? Awesome. So yeah, there's more than one type of schizophrenia. Does anybody know the types of schizophrenia? Yes.
I know I do not know the names, but I know that there are some where people can feel like other people are following them around. There are other types where
That's a paranoia one?
yeah, there are others where people can't see like faces, like physical features. I
Mhm.
think the only ones I really know are paranoia, like the
Yeah.
parts of them.
So paranoia is the most known one. There is another one where people will just stop and freeze in a weird position, and they don't move. They feel literally frozen. We will go over that tomorrow as well with the PTSD. We're just going to go over a lot of different types of mental illnesses tomorrow. Just hit on them. But yeah, there are, I think, 3 main types of schizophrenia out there. Number 8, myth. Did anybody put fact? No? Okay, you guys are doing phenomenal. Oh my goodness. So yeah, parents can raise children to not have any mental illnesses. Wrong. Parents, they have a role because, like I said, PTSD can, cause mental illnesses, but and genetics. Genetics is also another big issue with mental illnesses, but it does not mean that they can raise them and they are completely fine no matter what. If they don't have mental illnesses, the parents don't have mental illnesses, that doesn't automatically mean that their kid is not going to have mental illnesses. It happens around like society. There's their social circle, genetics, who they hang out with, everything like that. Number 9 is a fact. 1 in 5 people have a mental health disorder. I covered this whenever I answered Amy's question. Yeah, 1 in 5 people. That is a lot of people. A lot of people. You have a question?
Yeah, do you think that number is going to go up because of the pandemic?
With the studies that they've done, they see increase in them, yes. But with it only being a year, we don't know if it's going to be long-term or if it's just right now. But as of now, yes, there have been more diagnoses of depression because of the pandemic, sadly. Number 10, fact. It is still possible to get therapy during a pandemic. There are a lot of different sites that you can go to get therapy. One is BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp. That is a little app that you can download. It does cost a little bit of money, but so does most therapy. And you can talk one-on-one to a therapist any time of day. And then you can also get a personal therapist that can have scheduled meetings. So you can do it on an app. You can also go to a regular therapy place, and they can do virtual ones, whether it's just a call or FaceTime. So you can definitely still get help during a pandemic. Number 11, myth. It says, I cannot help others with a mental illness. Only an experienced doctor can. Though you cannot diagnose someone with a mental illness, you can help them out with different coping strategies. So we will go over coping strategies on the 4th day of this unit. But with coping strategies, you can sit with them and just listen to them rant. If they need someone to listen to, that is one of the best ways to help them out, is to just sit and listen. And you can help them by doing that. Another way is to give them different places to go for therapy, whether it's a crisis hotline or introducing them to BetterHelp or other apps such as like Calm or meditation apps. Anything that possibly helps them get better or finds the right way to get better, you can help them with. So that is in fact a myth. Number 12, myth. Anybody put fact? Good. See, I thought when I was younger, I thought that once you had a mental health disorder, you had it for life. It was chronic. Not all mental health disorders are chronic. So depression is described as having sadness for, I think it's 2 weeks or longer at a specific time, back to back. So there are chronic, where you are depressed for a long, long period of time. But there's also depression where it's situational. So say parents have a divorce. Sad happens sometimes. But your mom or your dad may go through a depression phase because they're gonna be sad, they're gonna be stressed because a long relationship had, ended. So that might not last their entire life, but it does last for quite some time. So it does not last forever for some cases. Number 13 is fact. Talk therapy is only one of the many types of therapy treatments available. There are a lot of treatments for therapy. There is light therapy. Has anybody heard of light therapy before? Yeah, EJ, do you know, what is it? What is light therapy?
Well, this is just based on personal. I call it therapy, but there's like it's a certain specific light that releases like vitamin D or something
vitamin D.
inside of your body. It's supposed to like replicate the sun. I just got one like the other day, and I just turned it on in my room. It's blinding, but
It is very bright,
at first, but no, it's pretty cool.
With light therapy, it is an extremely bright lamp type thing. It's supposed to replicate the sun, and in order for it to be effective, you have to do it for at least 30 minutes at a time. Another type of therapy is music therapy. Has anybody heard of music therapy? Daniel, can you tell us about music therapy?
Using music as a way to try and affect mood or try and affect the way you're thinking in order to try to calm certain feelings.
Yeah, it's a great coping mechanism, first off. So you don't actually have to have a specific therapist for this, but it is a way that you can do it on your own. There are specific places that you can go to for music therapy where they will lead you through different activities, whether it's playing guitar, teaching you how to play guitar to calm yourself down, or different tapping mechanisms to create a certain sense of feeling of calmness over you. There's much more different types of therapies, but Those two are the main ones other than talk therapy that we will be discussing during this unit. So the next question, number 14, fact. Anybody put myth? Wow, you guys are a lot better than I thought you guys would be, so that's awesome. That means we can go into more detail on our lessons coming forward. So 14, you cannot tell if a person has a mental health disorder just by looking at them. Though on number 2, it is a fact that having mental illness can affect the way a person behaves. It doesn't always mean that you can see the mental illnesses. Some people around you, some people in your family might have anxiety and you don't even know. Or they might have depression. They could be the happiest people in the room. And whenever they're home, they are sad. They just don't feel like the person that they should be. One example is Robin Williams. Does anybody know who Robin Williams is? Yeah? I see a lot of nods. Robin Williams was an actor, sadly. Back in the late 2010s, or 2000, mid-2000s, I should say, he committed suicide. Touchy subject, I know. But he was a comedian. He was well known for making other people smile, well known for making other people laugh. Nobody knew he had depression. So that's why you can't just know if somebody has depression or anxiety or any mental illness by just looking at them. Number 15 is a myth. Self-diagnosis is a great way to understand your mental health. Wrong. You cannot self-diagnose your own mental illnesses. Yes, you can look at your symptoms and be like, I think I might have this. But you don't know for a fact that you have a mental illness unless you go see a medical profession. Does anybody have any questions on that one? No? Awesome. Number 16, fact. Therapists cannot prescribe medication. You need a psychiatrist. That is a fact. Therapists cannot prescribe medication unless they are also a psychiatrist. There are some therapists who are also psychiatrists, but the average therapist cannot prescribe medication. This is because they don't have a doctor degree or a pharmaceutical degree. They only know the symptoms. They only go through the training of helping you cope through different issues. They don't have the training to prescribe you the right type of medication. Number 17 is myth. So, did you miss that one, BJ? That's okay. So, 17 is myth. Talking to someone about suicidal thoughts can make them act on them. That is false. EJ, why did you put true?
So, my thought process was that if somebody were to talk to somebody about suicidal thoughts or something like that, like it would. And that's the way,
I mean, yeah, I guess
that's the way I thought like it, but we also talked about this one because we didn't really know. So I could see both sides.
So the reason why it's a myth, I understand where you're coming from, but the reason why it is a myth is because whenever someone is talking about suicidal thoughts, you can easily go and get someone to get help. You can have someone step in and stop them. Another thing is, some people just need to talk their feelings out. Some people may have these thoughts but not have any plans or any actions. And talking to someone and having someone truly listen to them and care can also help them back up out of their plans. But always take suicidal thought talks seriously. Always get a professional help. Never take it lightly. And make sure you're asking them if they're feeling okay if that ever comes up in conversation. Number 18 is a myth.
All right, we'll be back.
All mental illnesses result in a person feeling sad and lonely. That is one of the main symptoms of depression. But in, for example, bipolar disorder. With bipolar disorder, you have these really, really big highs and these really, really low lows. So with bipolar disorder, you will have the really sad, feeling lonely. But whenever you're in a manic stage with bipolar disorder, you do not feel sad. You do not feel lonely at all. You are a complete opposite. You are manic. You are acting out in different ways than you normally would. different symptoms are you go out and buy a lot of stuff because you think you're on the top of the world and you want to start all these new types of traditions or new types of activities that you've never tried before. That is one symptom of bipolar disorder with the manic. So that is, once again, a myth for number 18. 19, myth. So the best way to help someone with depression is to cheer them up. That is very commonly used. If somebody is depressed, they might be down, they might be sad, and you're like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to work around this. I'm just going to cheer them up. I'm going to crack jokes, make them happy. It doesn't always work, sadly. I understand that if you could just make a joke and cure everyone with happiness, that would be the best world that we could possibly live in, but it's not feasible. The best way to help someone with depression is either 1, refer them to a therapist. 2, let them talk and just listen to them. Number 3, you can just sit with them. Sometimes they just want to be in a quiet room, but they don't want to be alone. So these are all different ways that you can help someone with depression rather than just try to cheer them up, get them in a better mood. So our very last one, can anybody guess what it is? Fact. Fact, you're right. So mental illnesses are more common than the average person believes. Yep. Just like we said in number 9, 1 in 5 people. That's crazy. That is a lot of people. And the average person, you may think, oh, nobody's sad, nobody has depression, nobody has anxiety, I'm the only one who has these symptoms, I'm the only one. But there's a lot of people out there who are very similar to you, if you have these. There's a lot of people out there who can relate to experiences you've been through. And though they might not be your closest friend, they might be your neighbor. They might be your cousin. They could be anybody. And it's very important that you understand that it's a very common thing. It's sad, but you need to know that it's common, so you need to watch what you're doing, watch what you're saying, and being there for everybody else around you. So, that is all for the myth and fact sheet. I have a handout for you guys. This is from the website CDC, the Center for Disease Control. It is just a little short thing of what is mental illness, a couple of things. So I'm going to hand it out to you. I want you guys to read over it. And this was going to be homework if we went over time. But since we have plenty of time, you guys are able to read it here in class. If you want to group up in partners again, choose a different partner this time. Read it with each other. And then when you're done, I want you guys to write about 2 paragraphs. Could be more, but no less, please. Of what you learned in class today, whether it's from the myth and fact sheet or from this sheet from the CDC. I'm going to play music again, but it's going to be a light, more soft type of music. So if you guys want to pair up, read it together, and then create 2 paragraphs, I'll be walking around if you guys need any help.
Want to be partners? Then I'm gonna sit in your seat.
Feel free, it's nice and warm.
Feel free to pull up or if you have fun.
Come over here. Why? Is something okay? If there's something wrong, are you okay?
Hey, I'm not very good at reading, but I'll take it. Oh, well, I can go on
We miss none. No, we work together.
I said you missed none, she just kind of took care of it.
That is the truth.
That is not
I thought
true.
she was coming. I thought you were coming.
No.
Now we're gonna go around.
Anybody grab the
Where was I? Such
Idiots.
multi-occasion or long-lasting
ISO, I'm going to move you.
can affect someone's ability
Does it need to stay plugged in?
No, I just keep it on there because it kills the battery quick,
Got it.
but as long as it's
What group do you wanna be with?
Sammy,
Mental health includes our emotional,
Are you
psychological, and
I'll put
social
it on
well-being.
myself.
So it also helps determine how we stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Mental health is important
Yeah.
at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence. Although the terms are often used.
So, I'm gonna email him this paper. This is gonna email you.
Likewise, a person diagnosed with a mental illness can experience periods of physical, emotional, and social well-being.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
I'm good.
That's like needed.
Why is mental health important for overall well-being?
I'm doing communication.
Mental and physical health are equally important for overall health. Mental illnesses, especially depression, increases the risk for many types of physical health problems, particularly long-lasting conditions like diabetes and disability. Similarly, the presence of chronic conditions increases the risk for mental illness.
Can your mental health change over time? Great question. Yes, it's important to remember that a person's mental health can change over time depending on many factors. And the demands placed on a person exceed their resources. Their abilities.
And we just found out we both have the same topic for tomorrow.
For example, someone is working 100 hours.
Like we're both mental health and communication.
Because I'm not mental health, I'm just
Who's teaching?
And we have the same topic. But it's like, it's different though. So you just came from.
I did pre-modern theater.
I
did pre-modern theater history. Basketball. I love it. I like it.
someone who teaches multicultural education, tried to community up on the ethnic language, so we went from people of color to underrepresented people who are marginalized. So when we're, and this is one of the big questions, because I know things change. But my understanding is, when we're talking about
Among the most common health conditions.
first and foremost, there are two different things.
And
And that we would say,
So yours is actually like.
I've been diagnosed with bipolar. So the people that have, people who suffer from.
Because like 1 in 25 Americans look like a crack illness. Bipolar disorder. It is. I'm just writing some paragraphs. Well, on the
And then using terms like traits, so describing something in the model or
Yeah.
negative. Is that still, so I'm just curious in your health class, what you're doing.
For example, child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence.
So I think mental health is really supporting in times like the current show, people really press on
Biological factors.
mental illness.
Biological factors. Chemical imbalances.
I don't know what the rest of the reason alcohol and I would do this I don't know mental illness.
You can do that.
Like the coping mechanism was
Since we're skills.
overall
Now we got it.
stress.
See, I did
Coping mechanism was bad, but you know I have it anyway. I feel like opening it with like this, tough truth of life is a good way to like normalize these things like
Currently being taught in terms of the language.
Situation, so yeah.
Something I enjoy talking about.
Too much.
The mental.
The 1 in 5 surprises me. I thought it would be higher.
I'm assuming it's
Well, not just from the pandemic, but I know just in the years that I've taught, I mean, so since the beginning of school, since around. And maybe it's just, we've seen more people being diagnosed, or it's like the normalization, more people are talking about this stuff. It just seems like I have
You take
more
my fruit out.
students who are,
Lots of people get it out.
who have legitimate diagnoses. Now, I do also have plenty of students who will say, I have this, or I have that, or I suffer from school anxiety and stuff like that, but I'm truly diagnosed, I've seen many more. I mean, I get, even if I didn't know, I get probably, just for, things from the disability office and stuff, the students who have been diagnosed with autism.
Like, because normally you have
And
things like,
I think it's like a good thing that makes sense that we are seeing
or you
more
know,
openness
a lot
about
of
it.
it,
And
they,
like that kind of use, I think, you know, it's probably closer to team
Mhm.
I
really brings up
it does seem like it's on the rise.
I mean, I know, we don't know exactly what the candidate will, as Alyssa mentioned, just how much of it'll be acute versus chronic type thing, but we definitely are already talking from an educational standpoint that this pandemic is considered a traumatic or natural experience, so in terms of students coming into your classrooms with trauma, it'll be 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean every student will experience it the same way, but yeah, it's going to definitely change the landscape of
for
trauma in the
example,
classroom.
And try to research based on how
No.
my biggest fear with this is like we're gonna have a suicide spike over the next 10 years.
I can see that, especially,
We read it.
we already started to see like cell phone,
I know.
social media and stuff, how it was affecting
We're strong
mental
in
health
terms of
in young people.
Yeah.
And now, you couple that with isolation and those types of things, and just not being able to cope as members of society.
Okay, but technically I go first, so I pick the first one.
Yeah.
So you.
It's actually something we talk about when I do teachings. I want to do like
How do you know that?
like art, drawing, singing,
elders human being.
No?
I'm 22, so I should first.
Especially like one of the biggest issues is sometimes like you feel alone, isolated, so you start to feel that's not always in the world, and as you're not alone, shit means overwhelming. Complete change the culture of that.
Right, absolutely. But it would be interesting.
That's
And of course, that originally was the purpose of like extracurricular
Yeah.
activities and those types of things,
Don't worry, I'll
but
be fine.
I don't see that so much in
Right, but never cares.
Absolutely.
I see, but I think I just the athletes that really struggle and
We'll be there for
without
college.
Now, I have a friend here who took food off this week.
We're out through that, I swear to God.
Well, and then we also have to look at extracurricular activities in terms of students too. Some students have to work, so they can't be involved in after school. Or, you know, there's a cost involved with those kinds of things. You know, there's always this step back. So we talk about
Okay.
achievement gaps in schools, we talk about achievement gaps all day long, but
Because I need
until
to
we
talk
begin to
to
look at
Corey.
why, what
Let them know you're
caused
coming.
those gaps, you know.
And we have even.
And I think it'll be the same thing with the results of the pandemic.
It is.
Every student
I never did,
had
but I
it.
watched
It will be a different experience. I mean, how their parents cope with it, where they come from. Technically, it's been 5 years, but I still go to middle school and high school. I go there at least every couple of weeks, just to be in the classroom and see what's going on and what's happening.
I do.
I'll test it, yeah, we should, let's do that.
Colleen, you sound like
I'm very much an advocate for anyone who is a member of the professional education systems here on campus should have to spend time in the public schools to really see what is going on and what's, because we talk a lot of times ideally about what should be happening in schools. It's not possible if you look at the reality of what's happening.
You can only do so much.
Right.
I grew up calling them research.
Reese's. That's like an old, that's not old person.
If you guys would like to, I also have a Kahoot
Guys,
game.
I buy
If
me.
you guys wanna play?
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go.
Not a big deal.
I'm a small, like, class.
You guys like my paragraph? Can we sit?
Yeah, you can sit doesn't really matter.
Alright, I'll
Do
sit
you guys
and
want
take
the
pictures.
music to continue playing or turn this music off to have it continue music?
Yeah, Piggy music is good music.
Okay.
I like the poo music.
Ben, are you still sitting there?
Yeah, sit here.
Big head. Can't see anything. Spencer, when we worked on our project, DPLC was eating this close together.
And I was extremely
I went to test like 8 times.
This is mean.
So I like for me, I'm down with.
I'm loading.
We can zoom out.
I'm telling Jeff, it's just.
You know, I would see him run every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live like right next to him. 'Cause I live in the, you know, it's mansion.
Oh, yeah.
I live in the neighborhood across.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I can knock on his door.
I was just going to walk in my practice and he was route and he would run. Right across
Like
the
hero.
What's that?
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff and Steve.
I love you guys.
9 to 9.
Money down.
9 to 5. There's so many twos.
Is that you? You mobile?
I'm not, I haven't gotten in there.
Eric, you're the last one, right?
No.
I haven't.
You have it?
It's still loading.
Yours is the money bag.
It's still loading.
You're the money bag? Okay.
Oh, I did the wrong
You roll.
password, I guess.
Slow, here, there it goes.
Okay, this is the right game pin. 992 9253. It is saying it's the right.
What's your social
You made it accident with that.
Oh, she just fucking, I like that.
Did you want to put your name on your fact sheet?
I do
And
remember
then-
it.
and
It's
then-
so bad.
Pay the security code.
Exactly. And then give me your credit.
That'll be your.
It's not letting me log on, so I will just watch and answer them in my head.
You should use your whiteboard.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a worse
The
strategy.
only issue is you're not gonna have your score up on the board. Are you okay with that?
That's okay because I don't want them yelling at me anymore.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start.
Oh, you're running for 12.
Quiz.
Which of the following can affect your mental health?
Oh man, I don't know.
Okay, which one affects the most?
Oh.
Is losing your friends. Losing your
That's a
friends?
trick question.
Yeah.
Too much schoolwork can do that too.
I'm for it. I don't know. Oh,
This one was on your fact sheet.
Oh, I remember.
I don't.
I do.
I'm too good.
Triangle.
Yeah.
Do you think I had time to write all of that?
1 in 5. That was on your fact sheet. You guys got them all right on the fact sheet.
Well,
It's all good. It's all
I
good.
got one wrong.
Next one. Expressing how we feel is called what? Joe can't see. He can't see. Oh, okay.
Oh, I got that wrong.
Wait, I think
I actually might be wrong. Oh no.
I think
Can you see that better?
I definitely got that wrong.
Can I go back? I think I'm right there with you. Oh, I'm the chest.
No way, I got it right.
Emotional health.
I
So,
thought that was social health.
emotional, that's not a thing. Emotional health, emotional health. And then physical health, that's going to be more in your PE setting. Ooh, D1's going up.
That's right.
One
Oh,
can
come on.
access mental health resources by speaking with what?
Yeah.
Yes, all the above. Good job.
Music is the best music.
I don't think I have
I remember like hearing through the walls in high school.
Oh, yeah.
The way you feel about yourself and
Oh.
how you value yourself is what? Self-esteem. Good job.
I'll quick one. 26 points behind Sammy. Sammy, get
Oh, my
ready.
network was slow?
What is a healthy way to deal with stress?
Lie on a couch,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I would have never done that.
It's not like
There we go.
Good job. Yeah, why don't we want to just lay on the couch?
You'll just think about it.
Just think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're spending time with a pet, first off, you're getting the emotional help from another animal, from a, you know, and you're not, and you could possibly be moving around. Everybody knows from your PE class that moving around can help with your mental health. What do you guys?
What do you mean?
What is an unhealthy way to deal with stress?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
I don't.
I was
Oh,
wrong.
Drink coffee to wake you up. That's a great way to wake you up. It's not very healthy, but it's not a great way to deal with stress. Playing video games, can I have everyone's attention? Thank you. Playing video games, that can help with stress. It can help calm you down. It doesn't just have to be Xbox or PlayStation. Playing video games can also be like Schoology. We've got some of those games on Schoology that you can play. Those are video games. Cool Math, yeah. Do you guys remember Cool Math games?
Yes, Amy.
Yeah.
Love it.
What causes mental illness?
I don't think so. I was the wrong one. I misclicked.
No one knows. There are a lot of different causes. There is. Hey guys, thank you. There are a lot of different causes. So it could be genetic. It can be from who you're hanging around with, but no one truly knows the core of where it comes from. Okay, that's going to be our last question. So having a mental illness can affect the way the person,
I
what?
clicked on my phone.
This is also, yes, good job. This is also on your fact sheet.
Let's see the podium.
So the podium, right now, when we edit D1.
Wow.
This is it first. Okay.
Wow.
So that's all I have for you guys today.
What's up,
Thank you.
Cresta?
Make sure that you guys
Good game.
make sure that you guys are turning in your essay, your 2-paragraph. If you have it done, you can turn it in now. If you don't, turn it in tomorrow morning whenever you come to class. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
So